Friedman, past president, a six-time club champion in 5 different decades, a friend to so many, provided insight, leadership, and he was a true resource of knowledge and certainly history of this property. When I think of Mr. Friedman, I think personally the daily stories he would tell me about his trips to various golf courses. We talked about the golf swing all the time. He was so fond of golf course architecture, and the story goes on and on. Those who've met him certainly understand what a presence he was every time you were in his company. But by far, the fondest moment, and I have it captured here in photograph, was on June 29th, 2018. And those of you that were there will remember and know how I feel, but it was a wonder watching Dave Friedman hit the ceremonial first tee shot on the new golf course at Cobblestone Creek. He ripped it right down the middle so proudly, and it was, if you were there, you know how I felt. It was just a wonderful thing to watch. I will certainly miss him. At this time, I'd like to call up David's son, Stephen, to say a few words about his dad.
One of the really difficult things when my father passed away was that we didn't have a funeral because of COVID. So this is really the first time that I've had a chance to express myself in front of anybody other than my parents or my mother or my family. So bear with me. I just want to thank the people that have called me and written notes to us since my father's passing. It was really made us feel better, made me feel better, made my mother feel better, and the people that have stopped me, and everyone, of course, has a story about my dad. I mean, if you met him, then you have a story, and if you don't have one story, you have many stories. Of course, I have a million stories, but I'm not going to tell them. As Mike said, he was an amazing player, and I got to see it, from my entire life, where he was an incredible competitor, and he never seemed to really lose it in his game. He may have had some poor rounds and some poor holes, but he always seemed to get it together. Most people who have played with him know about his temper, which unfortunately he did have a pretty bad temper at times, but he did mellow as he got older and realized that it really wasn't that important. We're supposed to be having fun here. But he loved the camaraderie of playing golf. He loved meeting new people. He was the first person that would reach out to new members, it seemed. I've had numerous people tell me that he was the first person that approached him in the locker room, somebody who approached him on the practice tee. Took a real interest in people's children, wanted to help people, wanted to grow the game as much as he could. And that was really one of the things that he consistently did was reach out to folks. He loved to travel and always wanted to play different courses when he traveled. He would go to someplace completely different, or he would go to a wedding or an event at some part of the country that he'd never been to, and he always wanted to find a golf course to play. And if I was there, of course, I got to go with him. So I got to play at a lot of special places in my life. I'm very fortunate for that, to be able to go to some of these top places. Never Augusta National, but just about every place else. Although he played at Augusta when he was on the Duke golf team, so that's yet another story. He said that he played 1,000 courses, and I actually counted him up because he had a spreadsheet, and he actually played just shy of 1,000. It was like 960 something. But I think you'd have a hard time finding someone that's played almost 1,000 golf courses all around the world. Obviously, the legacy here. He was a member here when he was 13 years old. My grandfather joined and was involved with every incarnation of Green Acres, when they redid it, when Fazio redid it, when 95 came in the early 70s. And of course, he was very much involved with what happened here in the selling of this land to Lennar, and he really enjoyed being involved, working with Bobby Weed on the redesign of the golf course. And I think it came out great, and I'm very happy with it, and I think most of the members are. From playing with him so much, he was amazing that he could see my deficiencies so quickly. I mean, obviously pick up very quickly and see what the problem was and be able to help me and correct me. Taught me how to play the game, taught me how to behave on the course, taught me to have respect for people and all people, any type of people, and that's really part of his legacy. Certainly his winters in Florida, since the early 70s, has been going to Florida for quite a while, so that's not going to be the same for me going to Florida as it always was. And he is really going to be missed, and I miss him, and I think about him every day, and and I know my daughters do too, and my wife and my brother and my whole family. So anyway, thanks for all the outpouring of support for us, and we'll see you out on the golf course. Thank you.